Om Vakratunda Mahakayam Surya-koti Samaprabha Nirvighnam Kurme Deva Sarvakaryesh Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kavarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavata Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaye Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Vinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gururātmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptarehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahadevyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastamavedvishavahe Om Shanti Harihi Om Vasudevendra Yogindram Tattva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodha Vidhiyate. Now you can repeat after me. Atmakah Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vitiriktah Panchakoshatītas san Avasthatraya Sakshi Sachidananda Rupas san Yaha Tishtati Sa Atma
स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः पंचकोशातीत सन् अवस्थात्रय साक्षी सच्चिदानंद रूपः सन् यः तिष्ठति स आत्मा.
We know this text Tattvabodha is a Paribhasha Grantha. It is a book of definitions. And you find all the definitions for all the technical terms in this book. So before reading any other text, whether it is Prakarana Grantha or any Upanishads for that matter, you must be familiar with these terms. And the terms are defined. So it is therefore these definitions should be known for studying Upanishads or the other Grantha. So it is enough to know the definition. What does it mean? It means it is enough to know only the translation of the definition. The translation of the definition is not the understanding. So the understanding of the definition is important.
Whatever. கேக்குதுங்களா?
இல்ல கேக்கல.
ஓ இப்போ உங்க வாய்ஸ் கேக்குது. என்னாச்சு?
It's quiet. There is a red dot, so I'm not sure what that means.
It's gone, seems. No.
Oh. Hmm.
The red dot is the recording thing. Recording is going on.
It wasn't there in the beginning.
No, it was there. Whenever there is a recording, there will be the dot.
I see. Okay. Oh, not that red dot. That's not what I mean. Here there is another red dot on the sound system. Right next, see when you have four of these. I'm looking at my iPhone.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
You can hear me, okay.
Don't just say ladies. I'm sure there must be some gentlemen too.
Yes, there is a gentleman there. Hello, Mr. Gentleman.
Is that Asha or Usha?
Usha.
Usha. Okay. I can never tell between you guys. Okay.
I know, everybody has a problem with that.
Yeah.
So we are only 4 people here?
I can't tell. My phone doesn't tell me.
Oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 people. And 6 people. Okay, yeah, 6.
Who is the sixth one? 5 only I can see.
You can see only 5?
Yeah. Vasanti ji, Nagaratnam ji, and then Rajasundari. I don't know the whole name. It says Rajas.
Oh, is it Rajasundari? Then there's no man here.
That's not a complete name. I don't know what it is.
You have
That's the lady who spoke earlier. That's
okay, now are we starting with the second chapter?
No, we are chanting only. We are about to chant that whole chapter, then continue with the ending. That Madhyam I told you yesterday. From there,
I don't think there are any chapters here. He just goes on.
No, there are chapters.
No.
There are 5 chapters.
Yeah, 5 chapters. Yes. We are on the second one, completing the second one. Atma.
Atma kaha, right?
Yeah.
Atma kaha. This is the second chapter, Atma Tattva Viveka.
Yes.
Got it, Naga? Ratnam?
I didn't know that there were chapters. I was just thinking it's completely one big lump.
Chapter is Atma Tattva Viveka. The chapter name is Atma Tattva Viveka.
You have the book with you, right? You have the e-book?
I have e-book, but it's in Telugu. But they didn't differentiate. But I have one in English also. Chinmaya Tejamayananda wrote one. I didn't realize there are chapters. I guess I didn't pay attention to that part.
Okay. I may not be able to sit through completely.
I think I sent you maybe to Usha, Telugu Tattvabodha.
Asha, you might have sent.
Now
you
who
might
is
have sent
speaking?
Asha.
Oh, now this speaking Usha? Oh,
yeah, this is Usha only. Asha is not here.
Okay, yeah.
Did you send it to her?
No, I must have sent it to you. Are you sure? In the beginning. Remember one time you were in Bhagavad Gita class and I was sending it to everybody and you asked for it? I can send you again.
No, I want to see.
Yeah.
I don't see anything here.
Okay. I can send you again. It's not a big deal. Yeah. It's very simple. And,
yeah, but this book you don't have? Sangamitra sent it to me.
That I don't have. No. What book is that?
It's in English.
Right?
So I was telling that this Tattvabodha is a book of definitions. So because it's a book of definitions, it is not enough to know only the translation. So you should know the meaning of what each term means. So the understanding of each word is important. So therefore, this Tattvabodha text can be covered in just 3 classes because it is nothing but a book of definition. And the same text can be taken for 15 classes also and can be extended for 50 classes also. So it is possible. This textbook is not a Vichara Grantha. We don't do any inquiry on the topic discussed, like in Panchadashi or the other Prakana Grantha. Panchadashi, if you take that, Viveka is there. So the first 5 chapters is on Viveka, different types of Viveka. So that each Prakriya is taken, that is discussed elaborately. That is a Vichara Grantha. They go in depth to each topic and discuss, giving a lot of examples, So, but in Tattvabodha it is not like that. It is just defining the terms. But we don't just stop with defining the terms. If you see our classes, we have done a detailed vichara into the word, and also with a lot of the stock examples and also the empirical examples to understand what it means. That is important. So therefore, today we are in 37th class. To my estimate, it may go for another 20 classes. So it means totally 60 classes. It means for another 2 months, 2 or 3 months probably it will go. So you may think I'm repeating certain things, but it is not repetition. It is it has purpose. Repetition is not a dosha. Okay, that repetition is a method which is not a dosha, and it is encouraged in the tradition by the Shastra. So no topic is repeated, and we are not sticking to one topic. No, we are moving actually, but the movement is not seen. Slowly we are moving from topic to topic and discussing every term in detail. Okay, now the next definition after Atmakaha. Stula Shariram Kim.
Stula Shariram Kim.
Panchikruta Pancha Mahabhutai Kritam Satkarmajanyam Sukha Dukkhadi Bhogayatanam Shariram Asti Jayate Vardate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinashyati Iti Shadvikaravat Etat Stula Shariram.
Panchikruta Pancha Mahabhutaihi Kritam Satkarmajanyam Sukha Bhogayatanam Shariram Asti Jayate Vardhate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinashyati Shadvikaravat Etat Stula Shariram.
I'm going to skip some of the sentences here. I'm going to give you only the important definition, and we have lost some time also. Sukshma Shariram Kim.
Sukshma Shariram Kim.
Panchikruta Pancha Mahabhutai Kritam Satkarmajanyam Sukha Dukkhadi Bhoga Sadhanam Pancha Jnanendriyani Pancha Karmendriyani Pancha Pranadayaha Manaschaikam Buddhischeka Evam Saptadasha Kalabhissaha Yata Tishtati Tat Sukshma Shariram.
Apanchikruta Sukshma Mahabhutaihi Kritam
Karmajanyam
Sukhadi Bhoga Sadhanam Pancha Jnanendriyani Pancha Karmendriyani Pancha Pranadaya Manaschaikam Buddhischeka Evam Saptadasha Kalabhihi Sahayattishtati Tat Sukshma Shariram.
Karana Shariram Kim.
Karana Shariram Kim.
Anirvachya Anadya Vidya Rupam Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram Satsvarupa Jnanam Nirvikalpaka Rupam Yadasti Tat Karana Shariram.
Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Rupam Shariradvayasya Karanamatram Satsvarupa Jnanam निर्विकल्पकरूपं यदस्ति तत् कारणशरीरम्
अवस्थात्रयं किम्
अवस्थात्रयं किम्
जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्ति अवस्थाः
जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्ति अवस्थाः
जाग्रदवस्था का श्रोत्रादि ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादि विषयाः ज्ञायन्ते इति यत् सा जाग्रत् अवस्था स्थूल शरीर अभिमानी आत्मा विश्वः इति उच्यते।
जाग्रदवस्था श्रोत्रादि ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादि विषयाः
स्थूलशरीराभिमान्यात्मा विश्व इत्युच्यते।
स्वप्न अवस्था का इति चेत् जाग्रत् अवस्थायां यत् दृष्टं यत् श्रुतं तज्जनितवासनया निद्रा समये यः प्रपञ्चः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था सूक्ष्म शरीर अभिमानी आत्मा तैजस इति उच्यते।
स्वप्नावस्था इति चेत् जाग्रदवस्थायां तज्जनितवासनया निद्रा समये यः प्रपञ्चः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था सूक्ष्म शरीराभिमानी आत्मा तैजस इति उच्यते।
ततः सुषुप्ति अवस्था का अहं किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रा अनुभूयते इति सुषुप्ति अवस्था कारणशरीर अभिमानी आत्मा प्राज्ञः इति उच्यते।
ततः
सुषुप्ति अवस्था अहं किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रा अनुभूयत इति सुषुप्ति अवस्था
कारणशरीर अभिमानी आत्मा
प्राज्ञः इति उच्यते।
पंचकोशाः के अन्नमयः प्राणमयः मनोमयः विज्ञानमयः आनन्दमयश्चेति।
पंचकोशाः के
अन्नमयः प्राणमयः मनोमयः विज्ञानमयः आनन्दमयश्चेति।
अन्नमयः अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यत् विलीयते तत् अन्नमयकोशः स्थूलशरीरम्।
अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यद् विलीयते तदन्नमयः
स्थूलशरीरम्।
प्राणमयः प्राणाद्याः पञ्चवायवः वागीन्द्रियपञ्चकं प्राणमयकोशः।
प्राणमयः प्राणाद्याः पञ्चवायवो वागादीन्द्रियपञ्चकं प्राणमयकोशः।
मनोमयः मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यः भवति स मनोमयकोशः।
मनोमयः मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स मनोमयकोशः।
विज्ञानमयः बुद्धिः ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स विज्ञानमयकोशः।
विज्ञानमयः बुद्धिज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स विज्ञानमयकोशः।
आनन्दमयः एवमेव कारणशरीरभूत अविध्यास्तमलिनसत्त्वं क्रियादिवृत्तिसहितं सत् आनन्दमयकोशः। एतत् कोशपञ्चकम्।
आनन्दमयः एवमेव कारणशरीरभूतं अविद्यास्तमलिनसत्त्वं
Tattvam
त्वं प्रियादिवृत्तिसहितं सत् आनन्दमयकोशः एतत् कोशपञ्चकम्
मदीयं शरीरं मदीयाः प्राणाः मदीयं मनश्च मदीया बुद्धिः मदीयं ज्ञानम् इति स्वेनैव ज्ञायते
मदीयं शरीरं मदीयाः प्राणाः मदीयं मनश्च मदीयं बुद्धिः मदीयं ज्ञानम् इति स्वेनैव ज्ञायते
तद्यथा मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातं कटककुण्डलगृहादिकं स्वस्माद्भिन्नं तथा पञ्चकोशादिकं स्वस्माद्भिन्नं मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातम् आत्मा न भवति
यथा मदीयत्वेन कटककुण्डलगृहादिकं
स्वस्माद्भिन्नं तथा
पञ्चकोशादिकं स्वस्माद्भिन्नं मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातम् आत्मा न भवति
आत्मा तर्हि कः
आत्मा तर्हि कः
सच्चिदानन्दरूपः
सच्चिदानन्दरूपः
सत् किं
तत्
किं
कालत्रयेऽपि तिष्ठति इति सत्
कालत्रयेऽपि तिष्ठति यदि सत्
चित् किं ज्ञानस्वरूपः
चित् किं ज्ञानस्वरूपः
Okay. Now we can mute your mic. We have to discuss this topic now. Okay. The subject matter of Vedanta, the Vishaya of Vedanta is unique. That is why it is called Paravidya. As Mundaka Upanishad points out, it is Paravidya. Sarvavidya Pratrishtam Paravidya. Why it is called Paravidya? Because it is not like any other Vidya, any other knowledge. Any Vidya you take, the knowledge or the question related to that Vidya, it is specific. For example, if you ask, what is an atom? Atom. The question is specific and there is an answer for it. Long before the atom was considered to be indivisible by Dalton's theory of atomic physics is there. So atom is the smallest particle which cannot be further divided. So that was the theory long back. Now the theory has modified. Anyway, that is a different thing. Now the student who asks this question, who doesn't have the knowledge of what atom is, he asks the teacher, what is an atom? There is complete ajnanam of what atom is. Therefore, the student asks this question to the teacher. When he asks this question, the question is specific and the teacher gives him knowledge. But in Paravidya, it is not like that. Here, the question is not about anything outside of the questioner. The questioner is also not completely ignorant of the answer. In fact, the question arises because there is a confusion. The questioner is not completely ignorant of himself, but at the same time he asks the question, Atma Kaha, who am I? When you ask who am I, it implies, the question itself clearly implies that I was taken to be many things. I within quote, double quote. I was taken to be many things, and now you want to know which one is really I. Which one is really me. Whatever you possess, either physically or in the form of your thoughts, is considered to be you. Now you have to choose one among the many things, what you know, what you think yourself to be. Which one is me? Therefore, the disciple asks a question. Oh sir, please tell me which one of this is I am. That is the question. You see the problem now. Therefore, the teacher cannot answer the question directly. It is not like the question, what is an atom? There the question is specific. But here the question, who am I? It's a different question and it has to be dealt differently. The teacher has to nullify all the wrong conclusions about the person who asks the question, about what he thinks himself to be. So he has to nullify all the wrong conclusions. Without nullifying, it cannot be answered by the teacher. Even if the teacher answers, it will not be understood, or probably it will be misunderstood. That is more dangerous. Therefore, the knowledge of what Atma is not is very important. It will be a shocking revelation to know that your son is not you, your mother is not you, your relationships are not you. Nobody is you. In fact, you are not even this body. You are not this mind. You are not the senses. You are not the emotions. You are not the feelings. Nothing is you. Can you separate yourself from your emotions and see yourself separate from the emotions? For example, anger. Can you see yourself separate from anger? Can you see separate from yourself from anxiety, worry? When anger comes, you become angry and you say, I am angry. The I is in anger completely identified with anger. I become one with anger. You become inseparable from anger. Can you ask, who am I at that moment when you are in anger? No. Who is getting angry? The person is in anger and the person is one with the anger. So therefore there is no space to address the issue there. When anger and you become one, there is no possibility of asking this question. Maybe after the anger subsides, then you may ask, who am I? So what does it mean? It means you have some understanding that you are not anger. You are not what you think yourself to be. Because anger is not there now, the anger has disappeared, the inner space is there to ask this question. Not that you have gained knowledge because of inner space. No. Even when you were in anger, you have this question. But this question is not addressed as the person is not available to address. Now when you become normal, you know and have the knowledge that anger is not you. Therefore, there is confusion. You know you are not anger, but at the same time you cannot help identify with it. If you are not anger, then why do you identify with it? Therefore, the knowledge about yourself is not that you don't have it, but at the same time you don't have it. You don't have it because there is identification of yourself with anger or with so many things which you come across. Therefore, they have to be negated, and that is what we have done so far. When we negated Sariratrayam Panchakoshakam to discuss for so many classes, what are you doing there? We are negating actually. Therefore, now you can ask, Atma Tarhiktaha. Who am I? Who am I then after negating everything? I'll give another argument. You can ask question about anything in the Jagat which you know. But you cannot ask about things which you don't know. Before you know atom, you cannot ask what is an atom. Probably you would have heard the word atom, or the teacher would have taught you in the physics class. But you didn't understand what it means, and you know the word atom from the class. Therefore, now you can ask what is an atom. But regarding you, Atma, you, there was neither a time nor will be a time that you don't know it. It is always there. I is always there. You never had any doubt about it. Nor it is not that you don't know it. You have to know it later. It's not like that. I is always there. Whatever, when it is always there, then how can you question about it? I is not something which you recently heard and you have doubt about it now. No. As a child, I is there. From childhood onwards, even before that onwards, I is there. Therefore, it is not something new which you want to know now. So far, it is taken to be something, and now you probably doubt it. Therefore, we need to nullify all that which is not true. Therefore, what Atma is not is as much important as what Atma is. That is the teaching method. The teacher knows that. Therefore, he didn't address the question directly in the beginning. The teacher presented the teaching systematically, negating all that which is not Atma so far. And therefore, now the disciple has come to a point, and the teaching has come to a point to know what Atma is. Therefore, the question comes, Atma targikaha. What is Atma then? What is Atma then? Then itself says, Targi itself says, we have nullified, we have discussed so many things and nullified all that which is not Atma. So now we have arrived at a point to know what Atma is. And what is the answer? Satchidananda Rupaha. Atma Targikaha. Satchidananda Rupaha. Atma is Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Atma is of the Swarupa of the nature of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Now the teacher has introduced three words now. Sat, Chit, and Ananda. The disciple doesn't know what it means. So the author will take up each word and explain. The disciple will ask, Sat Kim. So every word he will question and the teacher will answer. Sat Kim. What is Sat? What do you mean by Sat? The teacher says, Kalatrayepi tishtati iti Sat. What exists in all the three periods of time is Sat. Literally, Sat means truth, the reality, that which is not within time. And therefore, it is free from the changes that time can bring about. Sat is defined here as abhaditam, non-negatable reality. After negating everything, what is left out, which is non-negatable, abhaditam, that is Sat. So Sat here it is defined as a non-negatable reality. Abhadita vastu. Kalatrayepi tishtati iti. The definition itself is a complete. The simple definition, but it is complete. Tishtati is that which is in all the three periods of time. Kalaha. Kala is time. Trayam in three. In all the three periods of time, what is Sat. Atma alone is Sat. That is what he says here. What exists in all the three periods of time is Atma. There is nothing other than Atma. So Atma alone is Sat. If there is any object which fulfills this definition, this Lakshana, Kalatrayepi Tishtat, which means that which cannot be negated at any time, that is Sat. But is there an object which can be negated in all the three periods of time? Once you say an object is subject to negation. An object is subject to change. It's subject to continuous change. In fact, that is called object. Anything which is born, like a pot, it is negatable. With respect to clay, pot is negatable. Ghata drishtya, mritika drishtya, ghataha abaditam. Ghatam abaditam. With respect to pot, clay is non-negatable. With respect to clay, pot is negatable. With respect to pot, clay is non-negatable. With respect to the particles of clay, the powder of clay, clay is negatable. With respect to molecules of clay, clay powder is negatable. With respect to atoms of clay, molecules of clay are negatable. We can go on and on. Therefore, there is only one thing at last left out that is non-negatable, and that is Atma. Therefore, if at all anything, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but can you go over this again about how the clay being?
No, I'll tell you later at the end of the class. Right? Please.
Okay.
You can mark your question.
Okay.
So there is only one thing which is not negatable. So there is no other object which can fulfill this definition. It is that which can fulfill this definition is only Atma. You can negate everything else, but you cannot negate yourself. So this is the definition for Atma, exact definition, complete definition, and this definition doesn't extend to another thing. There is no another thing is there. After negating everything, that which is left, that which cannot be negated, abhadita vastu, it is Atma. Generally, a definition, a lakshanam should be able to distinguish an object from all other objects. Otherwise, it is not a definition, a lakshanam. But in the definition of Atma, there is no certain thing. The definition doesn't get extended to a second thing. Therefore, this definition is applicable only to Atma and nothing else. And therefore, Sat is Atma. Kalatrayepi tishtati Satu. Here, Kala is Kalpitam. Kala is Kalpitam. When we talk about 3 periods of time, past, present, and future, really speaking, it is Kalpitam. When you say past, present, and future, past also is really present. You can think of the past only in the present, now. You can think of the future only in the present, now. You cannot think of the future in the future. The future is now. Similarly, you cannot think of the past in the past. The past is now. Because you are thinking the past, now it is now. Now you are thinking the past. You cannot live in the past and think. So in the present only you can think about the past and the future. Therefore, there is no past or future besides what you think in the present, now. Therefore, the present itself is full of past, present, and future. Ramana Maharshi says in Saddarshanam. In Tamil it is called, I think, Ullada Narpadu. The Sanskrit translation is there. He says in that, Bhutam Bhavishyatcha Bhavat Svakale Tad Vartmanasya Vihaya Tattvam Asyana Kinsya Gatavabi Charcha Vinaika Sankhyam Gananeva Loke. Bhutam, past. Bhavishyat, future. Svakale Eva Bhavatu. The past and the future, they are present in their own times. Without understanding the truth of the present, the discussion about the past and the future is ridiculous. Hasyana kim syat. How he gives an example. Just as a word, as a number 1, the numeral number 1, without the numeral number 1, you cannot count the numbers. The other numbers don't exist. So therefore, the truth of present, the now, is that it is not available for any further divisions. Atma is the truth of Kala. Atma is the truth of time. And therefore, Kala is Kalpitam. Maya Kalpita Desha Kala Kalana Dakshinamurti Stotram. But Maya Kalpita. Kalpita is there. So the Kala itself, it resolves finally in Atma Chaitanya. When you say Kalpitam, that which is Kalpitam depends on that which is Akalpitam. Kalpitam means, understand, it means superimposed. That which is superimposed is called Kalpitam. So, any Kalpitam must have Akalpitam as the Adharam. In the Kalpita Kala, there is a truth. Satyam is there. What is that? Atma. It is like a pot Kalpita on plate. Anything which is Kalpita is dependent on something which is Akalpitam. A pot is Kalpita, superimposed on what? on clay. Akalpita mritika. In a relative sense, the clay also becomes akalpita. In a relative sense, the clay is akalpitam. Really speaking, the clay also kalpitam. The clay is kalpitam and the clay powder on the molecules on the atoms, it can go on. Finally, it's kalpita only on akalpita atma. So, kalpita depends entirely upon a reality which itself is akalpitam. Now, if time is kalpita, past is kalpita, future is kalpita, the present also is kalpita, then what is akalpitam? Sat. The Sat is akalpitam. It is a swarupa of the one who is doing the kalpana. That swarupa is the atma, which is akalpita. Okay. Now, everything in the jagat changes. Ikaraha. Ikaravat jagat. Everything which comes under time changes. For example, you see a stone, a huge stone. It is not the same stone what you saw last year. Now it is different. In fact, it is not the same stone you saw a minute before. But we don't have the power to recognize or we don't recognize the change. We don't have the power to recognize the change. With reference to anything which I perceive in the jagat, we do commit a mistake. A certain projection is committed by us. We fail to recognize the fact. The factuals are always replaced by our projections. In understanding the jagat, two things are considered to be the basis. What are they? One is the kala, time. The other one is desha, place. They are the basis for experiencing the world. When you say, this is a pot, you are pointing out the object pot in terms of its existence in time. This is a pot. The pot is not outside of time. The pot is not outside of space. The pot as itself has certain space and it occupies a certain space and there is time involved. When you say a pot is, you mean the pot has existence in time. Now it is there. Gataha asti. Pot is there now. It was not the same pot you just saw a minute before. And it will not be the same next minute. So, a pot, P, at time T is PT. But at another time T1, it is not the same PT. It will become PT1. At time 2, it will become PT2. So, time changes and therefore it is not the same pot. But to our chakshus, the pot seems to be the same, but it changes with respect to time. Therefore, when you say it is the same pot, it is kalpana. It is imagination. That change is so small that it is difficult for us to appreciate. Therefore, everything changes in time. We know very well that certain things get fossilized. How? Over a period of time. You can take a video of a plant which grows from the seed. It sprouts from the seed slowly. It develops a stem, then leaves and flowers, and becomes a full plant. Now, after you capture this thing in a camera, you just play in the fast mode. You see the whole growth in a short time. It means what? There is a change in every small second, and the change is not appreciated by us because it is not appreciable. It is not available for our recognition. But it doesn't mean there is no change. That means the object is not the same. It is always changing. In fact, we don't come across the same object again. It is a fact. In Buddhism, they say you don't step on the same water twice. But for them, it is kshanikam, momentary. Everything is momentary. And they don't accept that which doesn't change. That atma, they don't accept. Therefore, they are shunyavadis. That emptiness is a philosophy. But we just dismiss it. it's wrong, and we can prove it easily also. Suppose you are watching a movie in the theater, and you see a man, and you see a horse. You see the man sitting on the horse, suppose. And if I ask you, what do you see? What will you say? You would say, I see a man. If I ask you further, what else you see? You may say, I see a horse, and the man is sitting on the horse. You will say. If I ask you further, what do you see behind the man? You may say, I see a huge mountain and trees and river. If I ask you further, what you see, then you will mention all that which you see in the visual. If I ask you again what you see, probably you would say, I see the blue sky. But you would never observe a white screen over which the movie is projected. The movie is kalpita on the akalpita screen, white screen. Without the screen, there is no movie. But we fail to recognize the white screen. Without the screen, no visuals are possible. Therefore, now, how can I make you to see the screen? To arrive at the screen, then we have to negate the man, the horse, the mountain, trees, the sky, whatever you saw in the screen, everything have to be negated. Everything in the you observed in the visual have to be negated because it is kalpitam on the screen. To arrive at akalpita screen, you have to negate all these things. And what about screen? Can screen be negated? No. Screen is akalpitam. Everything else is kalpitam. Everything which you observed in the visual is momentary, but the screen is not momentary. It is satyam. Behind every change you observe, what doesn't change is Atma. In the Jagat also, that is the same thing. It is a thing. What is left out negating everything is Satu, Satya Vastu, Atma. Everything can be negated, but existence cannot be negated. That which is ever existent, that which is present in all the three periods of time is Satu. That which never changes. Behind every changing phenomena, that which never changes, that which is the adharam for all the changes is Atma. And Atma is ever existent. But our focus is always on the change. And therefore, we fail to recognize the unchanging. I'll give another example. The two trains are moving on parallel lines, on parallel tracks. The two trains now, they are moving at the same speed. Now, from one train, you can see the person sitting on the other train by the window side. For you, the other train is stationary, and your train also it seems to be stationary for you. And now you can initiate a talk and have a chat with the other person through the window. It appears that your train is not moving, and his train is also not moving, and you are talking to the other person who is in the non-moving train. But really speaking, both are on the move. So therefore, similarly, in the Jagat also, everything changes, including you. You change, others also change. Every object in the Jagat changes. But what is the unchanging thing? That is the Atma. You never come across the same object again in life. In fact, you don't see the same person or the same object again. But even through all the changes, there is one thing which is changeless, which is constant, which is akalpitam, that is Atma, that is Satu. Therefore, since everything in the Jagat changes with time, the existence of part or the existence of any object is the existence of time. If time itself is kalpita, the existence of part or any other object is also kalpita. Every kalpita is not separate from akalpita Atma. Like what? Like a pot is not separate from clay. Therefore, they are not separate from akalpita Atma. And the truth of kalpita is kalpita Atma. It is Sat. Kalatrayepi yaha akalpita atma tishtati tadeva Sat. Existing in all the three periods of time, the Sat is Atma Chaitanya, consciousness. That consciousness is ever existent. And consciousness is Chit. And Chit is Sat, existence. They are not different. Don't think Chit is different, Sat is different. No, they are same. They are not different. Without being Chit, there is no Sat. Without being Sat, there is no Chit. Please understand this. And now, we know that all objects exist in time. When you say time, space is also involved. Therefore, an object has space and time. In the concept of time, whether it is past, present or future, there is time consciousness. When you say time is, it is the existence of time. That isness indicates the existence. Therefore, the time is kalpita on existence, sat. Therefore, an object existing in time, it has time consciousness, time existence. An object existing in space has space consciousness. Therefore, with every object consciousness, there is time consciousness and space consciousness. Without time consciousness, there cannot be object consciousness. Because every object exists in time. You cannot say an object is without time consciousness. Since all objects exist in time, there cannot be space consciousness without time consciousness. Therefore, any object consciousness, thought consciousness, it has space consciousness and time consciousness. And we can understand the existence of any object. That existence of any object is the existence of time. And time itself is anirvachaniyam, which cannot be defined. What is time? When you say the time exists, it means it is present. Vartamane lat. Vartamane lat. Vartamane is kalpita. The present is kalpita. For example, if you take the stock example, Devadattaha pachati. Devadattaha pachati. Devadatta cooks. Now, the cooks, what tense is that? Pachati, vartamane. Vartamane lat. How long does he cook? How long does it take to cooking? Now, Devadatta has entered the kitchen for cooking. Now he is in the kitchen. When he is washing the vegetables, he is cooking. When he is cutting the vegetables, he is cooking. When he is boiling the vegetables, he is cooking. So all these are considered to be the Pachana Kriya. Pachanam, it's really speaking, Pachanam is Mithya. There is no Pachanam. Pachanam doesn't exist. It is Mithya. Pachanam is not one single action. That is why it is Mithya. It is Kalpita on a series of actions. So understand the word Kalpita very clearly. When you say he walks, you say he walks. It means what? The person has covered some distance. He started his walking from a point. Let us say the point is A. He started his walking from a point A and he is still walking. Now you tell me, when did he walk? When the real walking has taken place. In walking, the first he lifts his legs. Then that is when walking happens, right? One has to lift one's leg to walk. Now, if he lifts his leg and places it forward. That is walk. There are many actions involved in one step, and that is a past and present in one step. First, he lifts his left leg. Let us say left leg first. It is present. He lifts his left leg now. It is present. He places his left leg on the ground and lifts his right leg. That is present now. And lifting his left leg, it has become past. Now again, he places the left leg, right leg on the ground and lifts his left leg. It has become present. The other has become past. So, if you look at all these things, it appears confusing. But really speaking, it doesn't. All these are kalpita. Cooking and walking, they are considered to be a single action. It is not. Cooking is kalpita on a series of actions. Walking is kalpita on a series of actions. Therefore, they are kalpita. It doesn't really. You cannot point out that kalpita. It is considered to be the series of actions. Therefore, you can definitely point out what is cooking, what is walking. There is no definite action. Therefore, we say it is kalpita. So, from the definition of sat, now we can easily understand that shariram is not satyam. Shariram is not accepted as a reality because body was not there before its jananam. Shariram was not there before its jananam, and it is not going to be there after maranam. So, shariram has a beginning and an end. It doesn't exist in all the 3 periods of time. So, similarly, other bodies, other kosha, whether it is Kula Shariram or Sukshma Shariram or Karana Shariram or any avastha for that matter, it doesn't exist in all the 3 periods of time. Then what is that which really is Atma? That Atma being said, which exists in all the 3 periods of time, it is a reality. It is the Sat. Another thing is, what is in time is subject to modifications. Anything which is subject to modification, we cannot call it a reality. What is a modification? A modification is it's changing the form. It drops a form and assumes a new form. So modification, it's really speaking, it is a kind of a transformation or a death. So anything in the creation you take which undergoes modification cannot be called reality. And the sharirams are subject to modification. Therefore, they are not Atma. And Atma is not within time. Therefore, it's not subject to any change. And it is a reality. Therefore, what is that Sat that is always present? It is that is consciousness. And so, we call the Sat as Chit, Chaitanyam, Jnana Swarupa. So, therefore, here the author defines Chit Kim. What is Chit? Chit is Jnana Swarupaha. Chit is of the nature of consciousness. Chit and Chaitanyam, they are same. But here the author says that it is Jnana Swarupaha. It is of the nature of awareness, consciousness. Okay. We will discuss more on Chit in the next class. Next class we will take up Chit and 2. But before I conclude today, so I will give one more point which is relevant to what we discussed in our Sanskrit class also. In in the Sanskrit class we are discussing this Bhuta Kridanta Pratyaya. There, you know what Bhuta Kridanta is. And Tattva Pratyaya. Now let us take an example. Ramaha Patitavan. Ramaha Patitavan. So what does it mean? Rama read. It is a past tense. Right? Ramaha Patitavan. In Sanskritam, according to grammarian, in Sanskrita Vyakaranam, that is called a sentence which has a ting pratyaya. Just a ting pratyaya. Tip plus T, that's a ting pratyaya. So, one ting pratyaya should be there, then only it is called a sentence. In Ramaha Kritavan, Ramaha is the karta. And Kritavan is, it is derived from the Shabda. Therefore, it is as I told you that they act like an adjective to the karta. So, Kritavan Ramaha. So, where is the ting pratyaya there? There is no ting pratyaya there. then can we call that as a vakyam? Ramaha kritavan. You say, we have to supply that thing pratyaya. It is understood. What is that? Ramaha kritavan asti. That asti or bhavati, it is understood. But we don't say it. Ramaha kritavan asti. Now you may think there is a contradiction between kritavan and asti. Asti is latlakara and kritavan is past tense. Is that not a contradiction? No. Ramaha kritavan. When you say Rama is a karta, here he kritavan, he did. But that asti, it says Ramaha is asti. The swarupa of Rama is what Atma, which is ever existent. And Ramaha asti. And what about you? Tvam kritavan asi.
What happened to him again? Can you all hear?
Lost him again.
Again.
What happened? I can't hear. Is anyone talking?
No, yeah, can't hear you. Again, we have lost him.
Okay. It's interesting, no? An interesting topic.
If he doesn't have electricity, he can't even reply probably.
I think that's what might have happened. He must have lost.
Anybody from Chennai in this group?
Yes, maybe that area.
So I wonder if the recording is going on.
Yeah, it's going
Well, there
on.
is a red light. Yeah, it's going on. So if we talk, probably it's going to be an objection again. Are you guys there?
Yeah, we are here.
Okay, I had another call, so I had to go back and come. Yeah.
Whether it's going to continue or not.
He usually quits in an hour for Shastra Vichara, so he must be quitting.
Do you think we need to wait or can go?
I think we can quit. Looks like.
Yeah, he joined.
Actually, he's wrapping up for the next class to get back. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, back.
Yes. Back now. Yeah. But the recording is on, I think. Okay. Mute the mic, please. Then we'll complete now. Okay. Sorry for leaving that.
Okay.
So, Nagaratam, can you please mute your mic? Yes. Hello. Oh, I can hear my echo. 1 minute. I will join here. Okay, so I'll join again. Hello. Hello.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, fine. Sorry. I can't share the PDF. Anyway, the PowerPoint is not required now. So I was telling with reference to our grammar also, Vedanta. So we say that Ramaha Tattvabodha Asti. That Tattvabodha Asti, there seems to be contradictory, but it is not. Tattvabodha denotes the action done by the Rama in the past, in the Bhutakala. But Ramaha is Asti. So, Ramaha Kritavan Asti. That Asti is understood. Even if you don't supply, Asti is there. Because Asti is that Sat is there in all the 3 periods of time. Therefore, that Asti, that we say Asti. And that changes with reference to the Purusha. Ramaha Kritavan Asti. Tvam Kritavan Asi. Aham Kritavan Asmi. The same Asti becomes Asi and Asmi. It means that I, you, and anybody for that matter is there. The reality of that is nothing but such existence. Therefore, it is not contradictory. It is understood. If you translate that Ramaha Kritavan Asti in English, Ramaha Kritavan in English, suppose Rama did, and Asti is that. So Rama is did. Realistically, Rama is did. The Astitvam of Rama is denoted by the word isness, that existence. Similarly, you are did. That maybe grammatically it is wrong, but that is what the truth is. Similarly, I am did. That when I say I, that existence of that I am consciousness and existence of me is there. Therefore, I did. The action may point out to something done in the past, but what is the reality, the tattvam of the karta? That is Satya. Whether it is an object or a person, the reality of what it is Satya, existence, Atma Chaitanya. That is there even in the grammar. Of the grammar also we can understand the Sat. That Sat, you, that Sat as you, as me, or any other object, that doesn't change. What we do may change and may have kala, but I am is there always. You are is there. You are were doing. In the past tense, suppose you did something, you were doing, really speaking, you are were doing. Are is there. That are is Sat. I hope you understand what Sat is. And that Sat is nothing but consciousness. They are not different. Existence is consciousness. Consciousness is existence. Therefore, now the author takes up the next definition. Chit kim? Chit is jnana swarupaha. It is consciousness. Nature of is consciousness. Chit is Atma. So Atma is of the nature of consciousness. Atma is of the nature of existence. So that which is existent and that which is consciousness and that which is Ananda Swarupa is Atma. That is what we are going to see later. Today we will stop here. In spite of interruptions, we have completed the class today. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Now you can ask me if you have any doubts.